World Walkers Training, Chapter 9, Within the Mother House, How to Connect with Your Spirit Guides. Now, before we begin, we need to first let go so that we may sail freely with no hindrances. Spirit guides will now be discussed. Spirit guides' main duty is to supply, as their name suggests, guidance, as well as support us, helping us move through our journeys. They supply us with a spiritual feather pen, rough cosmic parchment paper, and all the personalities we need for our story. It is us that writes our story and our own futures. Spirit guides encourage us to write many life stories so that, like ocean waves, we keep moving forward until we see we have long ago arrived at our destination. As we work on our story, many other individuals, places, and elements are blessed and grow as well, not just our own sphere of influence. Spirit guides help us see that presently we are truly glorious beings, filled with all possibilities, not 2 weeks from now, or a year from now, or even 10 minutes from now, but now. This is our truth now. Once we believe we are all possibilities, we will act on this truth within this life. As we act on this, all our other selves grow as well. So getting prepared. It is our desire to fully experience all our spirit guides so that we may be able to know their nature and become more fully aware of what resides within us. It is not as difficult as we think or have been told. It just takes a little stillness and focus. Spirit enjoys being with other beings. It is easier for spirit to show themselves when they see other friendly spirits nearby. Or, should I say, it is easier for us to become more aware of them. Let us begin preparing for our spirit guides' introduction. Always fill the room with pure divine love, because divine love is always strong in nature and a good protection shield against doubt, negativity, or unfocused energy. Many students have a little block that hinders them at times. Examples of this is some study what something is in isolated parts, and because they never see the big picture or how something works practically, many students lose interest, stopping short of their reward. An example of this is the vast chakra system, where some will stop short of actively pursuing practical applications with their chakras. It is also crucial to know an entity's full nature, and one way to do this is through having a two-way relationship with them, which takes time. What we are learning applies to both our chakras and spirit guides. Another obvious block is that some of us were taught to second guess ourselves and even fear our own understanding, our own feelings, our own self. Now is the time to remove beliefs which stop us from discovering our very nature, as well as our guide's nature. Believe it is possible to meet our spirit guides, and then it is. We all enter this life with spirit guides, whom accompany us from birth to our physical death. Now, talking about the inner band, guides help us in various ways. They teach and inspire us and try to help us remember what we came into this life to learn and experience. The spiritualist tradition lists 5 main guides called our inner band. Our inner band is with us from birth to death, and they are as eager to connect with us as we are to connect with them. We live in a fast-paced society. We think we are a failure if we meditate 6 times and nothing happens. Conversely, it appears nothing is happening. When something is happening, if you are living, something is happening. We need to wash away those false notions that we need to become an expert over a relatively short period of time. We are not in a race. We are not involved with one-upmanship with others or even ourselves. We simply rest in our own being. When working with both spirit and the practical side of life equally, we learn how to live within this reality while learning spirit, because we are here to learn about both sides equally. There are still many discoveries to be made here. There are still many precepts hidden from us. By us here, within this practical physical reality, we are here not only to learn, but fully experience this world within this reality plane. There are many views and names for spirit guides and how they work. I was taught they were called cousins. Then when I was taught this concept as an adult, my teacher called them spirit guides or helpers. Spirit guides help produce authentic, lasting results. As with most metaphysical truths, one must be patient, allowing the guides to show themselves. Just because we call them does not mean they will necessarily show themselves, because they too have a free will. When actively working with spirit guides and the ancestors, please do not second guess yourself. Believe your first impressions, because you are directly connected to divine source. You are part and are divine source. No middleman is needed, no years of study. You are completely equipped and prepared to take this journey. If it were not so, you would not be here. Yet diligent, consistent practice is important to this process to fine-tune our awareness. As multidimensional beings, we have an incredibly long list of energies and spirits desiring to help us through this journey. For the purpose of this lesson, our focus is primarily our guides. Helpers not only have many names, they also contain many energy forms, with and without faces, forever changing. We have many helpers, guiding spirits, parallel lives, probable lives, all our chakra personifications, all within us. Not outside, but within. Please allow this truth to sink deep within our hearts so that we may feel our spirit guides come forth one by one. Let go of all known and unknown hindrances. We cannot hold hindrances and work with guides within the same moment. This is the main reason many say, I can't focus on getting to know myself or my guides because of, and then they fill in the blank. This shows us in living color what our hindrances are. This identification is beneficial to our growth. So when that excuse pops up in the future, you know exactly what it is and how to deal with that particular little block. The next time we use a stall tactic, know it is us trying to stall. Take note of that excuse because we have essentially revealed a shadow that needs to be resolved by none other than ourselves. Preparation for meeting our guides is easy. Just let go of all perceptions and everything we have been taught in the past about our inability to work with our spirit guides. Let all that go. Some preconceptions are blocks again, which interfere with this genuine meeting moment. Please leave judgment at the door as well, for this hinders us. No one else, just us. While busy making judgments, we miss half of what is being presented, not being fully able to experience all the energies unable to open. Judgment is the opposite of open. They are two direct opposites. A person cannot hold judgment and meet or work with other guides at the same time. Think of the notion of water displacement inside a container. Guides are the water inside the container, and judgment is a huge boulder being placed in the water vessel, replacing the water with the boulder. Or we can say judgment removes our guide's influence. They are willing to help. Conversely, it is us that is not willing to receive their direction because of judgment. Once the boulder is inside the vessel, most of the water spills out of the vessel. Now the water vessel remains full. However, it is filled with the boulder, not the water. It is filled with judgment, not openness to spirit communication. So approach the water vessel with no judgment, only openness, because openness is pure receiving to what we are learning within this moment. Unforgiveness is another deal breaker when working on opening to our divine self. Yes, we can meet our guiding spirits and in an unforgiveness state. However, unforgiveness needs to be dealt with at some point of time to fully benefit from our helpers by becoming forgiveness. We all have had a broken wing. We have all been wounded. We have all been wronged, and we have all suffered loss. Place our broken wing on the altar, allowing the goddess's river to wash under us and over us, lifting us up to new heights we have never imagined. Allow her to carry us home. We either float like a feather on the water or sink like a boulder. It is our choice. If we sink, allow healing to begin or continue. If we select to float, then we are ready to begin awareness of our most magnificent guides. You see, both choices are beginnings. Both are equal. Both have lessons. Once a broken bone is healed, it becomes stronger. We are now stronger. We are ready to begin. Our guides are many and have been summoned by none other than us, either here on this physical plane or before our arrival here. Too many folks find it easier to focus on something outside of themselves, making it incredibly difficult to learn about all our guidance within. You are the leader of your path, your life. If you have given your will to another, reclaim it. No one is more equipped to lead your life than you. Now, the outer band, we have other guides in our life considered to be part of our outer band. These guides may be with us for a single moment or day or for decades. They come to us in response to our interests and needs. They, like the inner band, are able to work with other guides to ensure a successful experience, whatever the experience may be. Guides can help us in all areas of our life, especially with skills we need to become a world walker. Once the outer band guides help facilitate the experience to a meaningful conclusion, they move on to another being. None of our assistants should take the place of common sense or education. If we need financial advice, we go to our accountant, not our joy guide only. If we want to open a store, we need to become educated on how to start, operate, and maintain a store. Individuals and schools found on this reality plane are important and should be utilized. Guides assist. It is us that do the practical preparation. The first of the 5 inner band guides is the Joy Guide. The Joy Guide works to keep us connected to the things that make us happy. This guide is often young, from 4 or 5 years of age and up to early teens. Sometimes the guide is a totem animal or a joyous mythical being. This guide or any of the guides may even appear as light or a color. However this guide appears to you, it is the right way for you. Joy guides help us find our bliss, our happiness, our champion within. They show us what we do matters. They help us to discover how amazing we are and how joy unlocks our treasure chest, unlocking our full creaturehood by following our joy, not someone else's, our joy. The Joy Guide helps us feel good, which unlocks everything. There is where the magic is, teaching us how to raise and focus our vibration frequency through joy. The Joy Guide helps us define what joy means and does in our life. It is us that defines us, not no one else. Our Joy Guide also shows us that we do not need to find joy. This guide shows us we are joy personified. Now let us move on to the Protector Guide. The Protector Guide works to protect us on all levels, physically, mentally, and especially psychic levels. When we receive a warning of danger, it is this guide who is likely sending this message to us. We can ask this guide to protect us from unwelcome psychic energies or cause the energies to move on, or undeveloped entities some of us may attract from time to time. The protector guide focuses on our safekeeping, repelling, or transmuting unfocused energy into useful energy heading our way. It is the protector guide that usually steps forward when working with the afterlife and is assigned the gatekeeper for this purpose. Now moving on to the doctor, teacher, philosopher, spirit guide. Now the doctor, teacher guide works with us on two primary levels. The first is to help us find our personal spiritual path. The second is to help us find information regarding a need we may have, which causes us to become aware of opportunities we might otherwise miss. This guide is a highly evolved teacher, gently presenting empirical information showing connections, patterns, and sound facts, supporting new uncovered inventions or discovery, and how to invent more from what is already in our hands and in our sphere of influence. Or our Doctor Teacher Guide reminds us of inventions that have been long forgotten, showing us there are still thousands of applications to be utilized for this reality system. The teacher, philosopher, spirit guide helps us find our inner language through symbol. They are interested in community and disseminating helpful information to the human race in as many platforms as possible. Sadness is also dealt with and expressed through this guide, as well a real healing presence that washes pain away while helping us to connect to others. Yet do not remain in mourning too long. Like everything under the moon, too much of anything is harmful. Then we move on to the doctor, chemist, or doctor healer guide. The doctor, chemist, or doctor healer guide is a healer and works with our energy bodies to keep us balanced and healthy. Healers are influenced by the doctor teacher guide and the doctor chemist. Both help with energy work. Examples are like physical or psychic states, the auric fields, our astral body, and distance healing. If one is a healer, this is the guide, along with many other healing spirits, that will show up and desire to help. They encourage us to live healthy on every level, not just physically. Healer guides help with healing, even it is directing us to a good doctor. Healing guides help with energy manipulation, our energy bodies, and all healing energies. This helper shows us how to use our energy to create our reality as well, gently showing us all our elements start at soul level, and they are there for a reason, even if it's just to teach us how to journey back to health, among many other possibilities. Then the fifth, within the inner band, the Master Teacher Guide. But first, to recap a little, we have within us as the inner band the Joy Guide, Protector Guide, Doctor, Teacher, Philosopher, Doctor, Chemist, or Healer, and Master Teacher. The Gatekeeper can be one of the first four guides I previously mentioned, or this guide, in fact, is a fifth guide, though many individuals see the Protector Guide as the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper can be utilized by mediums to bring forth spirits for communication. The last to be discussed is the Master Guide. The inner band guide is the very advanced and not often concerned with our daily life. This guide may be an ascended master. Our master guide will appear the way We think a master guide should look just like what world walkers practice. Our spiritual life is the primary concern for this guide. However, remember what Chancellor Don Lewis cites, quote, everything is spirit, unquote. Master spirits, or master teachers, encourage us to see our light as well as to see other beings' light and to see the source of all light. Master teachers' main purpose is helping us to open to enlightenment and evolution, to wake up. Master teachers disseminate wisdom, directly pointing you to the next step toward human evolution. Master teachers may also be working with other advanced beings while working with you and will introduce them to you. Additionally, a speaker or explorer, like the master teacher, is a highly evolved being. Their main duties are also to teach us how we operate and inform us regarding the entire story of this universe, your universe, in broad brushstrokes, explaining to us what reality is. Master teachers can help our consciousness become aware of itself, just like the creation story, Goddess becoming aware of herself. Once we fully see our consciousness, then we can see how small we are, how immense we are, what we are, bigger than we could have ever imagined, and we are one changing, moving entity. Once we know who we are, how will we live in this truth? We become more gentle, kinder, more caring, more understanding, and more responsive to removing our blocks or less than stellar influences affecting us. A master guide is a concise communicator, having much to share for those who are willing to apply what is heard. This is why in the next few years there will be thousands of new inventions that the mind is imagining right now. They encourage individuals to record the process of everything they discover or invent. The Master Guide's main duty is to get us excited about getting out there and discovering all the many living things, living places, futures, and past events that still need to be uncovered again, as well as supposedly new inventions reinvented. The Master Guide encourages us to go down the proverbial wrong street to end up with the right decision, a new spiritual experience, the right place, a new discovery, or a new friend. The Master Teacher desires to take us to many wonderful learning centers and temples and places to explore on this astral plane. They teach us about our reality planes, in our deep dreams, trance, and deep meditation. So they quietly say, move into this new, expanded reality only you can discover. The Master Guide enjoys dealing with blowing away fears that stop individuals from getting out there and living fully. Not careless living, beautiful, joyous living, which the Master Guide returns us with gratitude in her heart or his heart to the Joy Guide. Many times, several guides will desire to work with us together, especially if we are smack in the middle of a breakthrough. For all these reasons, it is imperative to develop a relationship with our guides. Learning more about them benefits all. Until next time, blessed be.